Delighted that everyone's here for a variety of reasons, but mostly because I haven't got to come up with some really annoying questions for these guys. You get to a point in the season where you're met with a fixed grin and you can see them thinking, oh God, it's Lee with her microphone. Oh no, what's she going to ask now? But without sounding like a petulant teenager, it's not my fault what happens from now on. It's your questions, I'm just facilitating this. So I'm looking forward to... Have you all taken part in this before? You've taken part, yeah?
We have indeed.
Is it something you enjoy?
Very enjoyable experience. Genuinely it is. Well, we'll see how it goes tonight. I've done quite a few of them, and one of the things I have to say in front of media, the quality of questions and the interest that it stimulates is really good. It's one of those things I've done, I don't know, probably about half a dozen of them. Always busy, often associated with the weekend, and you think, damn, I've got to go and do that tonight. But as you leave, and I hope tonight's no exception, you think that was really enjoyable and it's really worthwhile. It's some insightful questions. It reminds you that why we set out as teams to try and do these things, because we are often too remote. We don't often connect as directly with the fans as we should do, and it's a real delight when you do. So I think all of us have done them, have enjoyed them.
That's great, because you guys can probably ask, in some respects, edgier questions. I went to a thing once with Jenson Button when he'd won his championship to a primary school, at which point one little girl put her hand up and said, "Why were you rubbish for so many years?" And his face just dropped, and I thought, can you imagine? Imagine if I'd asked that question. Probably Eddie Gordon might have asked that question, but I wouldn't have asked that question. Let's start then, because this is all about you guys. Who would like to ask a question? You've got your hand up quickly.
Thank you. Do unfathomable tyres challenge Formula One as being at the cutting edge of engineering and aerodynamics?
You see, not losing what the answer to that.
I don't know. Go first, Bob.
After every successful race, we think we've fathomed them out. So I think, I think it's an ongoing process. Yeah, there are answers to it. There is a sort of pecking order of performance underneath it, but there's definitely a sweet spot in these tyres, and when you hit it, it's quite exciting and changes the weekend. But I think we're getting to grips with it slowly but surely, but still not on top of it from our side.
No, I mean, I think there are many challenges in Formula One which at some point seem unfathomable, but that's the challenge, isn't it? And certainly at the moment they have produced a very unpredictable but must be massively exciting spectacle for the fans, deeply frustrating at times for some of us. But that's the sort of challenge we should have. I don't sense yet. Well, I can speak personally for my team. We haven't got the level of understanding that we would like. I don't, fortunately, see yet anyone who's comfortably mastered it better than us. I think from periodically we're in good shape and other times we're in bad shape. And I've seen similar patterns for really all of the teams. I think there's quite an interesting phenomena apart from just the variation in the tyres. It's very clear and quite obvious that there are two teams that have got often very extended wear life by comparison to perhaps the traditional front-running teams, and that's made another dimension. So you've got all the normal variability that's created by the closeness of this season, by the challenge of understanding the tyres, and then by someone who might one stop behind you, and in normal circumstance you think that you'll be quite comfortable, but actually they put you under quite a lot of pressure if you're two-stopping or even contemplating a three-stop. So, and all those things really, I think, must make it really fantastic for the fans, because you go back 5-10 years ago, we were really often the season became fairly predictable after the first 2 or 3 races, unless weather intervened or some other significant issue. You had a fairly good idea of 1 or 2 drivers that were likely to win the the forthcoming Grand Prix. And I think we've had the last 2 World Championships, I think, have been great World Championships. The result hasn't gone the way of the 3 gentlemen up here would like necessarily, but I think they've been good championships, and a number of things have contributed to that. I think now having the uncertainty, which has been added to, as I say, by a number of factors, including the tyres, I think is really good for us, and it's clearly the challenge for our respective teams and for all the teams is to be the first to really master the complete understanding of this sort of semi-organic lump of rubber we have on each corner of our vehicle.
Ross, do you have anything to add?
I think Martin said everything. I think where we came from with the Bridgestone tyres is that they were very benign, very easy to use, very tolerant, wide range of temperature under which they provide good levels of grip. And people started to develop their cars in different ways without suffering any consequences of how you develop the car. So perhaps you've evolved different suspension geometries or different aerodynamic characteristics. And with the Bridgestones, it didn't really matter because they would just give a consistent performance. Then